Hello, everybody. It's Ashley, and I'm here to answer your questions. I like to talk about all things low content. I have a Google form. If you are want to ask me a question, I will post it in the replay. There'll be a link that you can ask me a question, and if you send it there, then I can answer it for you. So let's see questions I got this week. Thanks, Rob, for sending two questions. Uh, his questions were, let's see, uh, you do mostly lower medium content books, and how do you decide on your niches and how to use your girls for inspiration? So that's what I kind of decided to talk about this week because I thought niches are something everyone's interested in. How do I pick a niche? I don't know what to write, put my contact. There's so many ideas out there, and I have some unique ways that have been very successful for me. So I want to talk about those. And then let's see, what the other question he asked was about I mentioned a code for my PowerPoint. So I want to talk a little bit about that. Let me do that real quick. So I have two codes. They're macros codes. So they're not templates. You run a macros. If you can Google it if you want macros in a PowerPoint, and it's just basically a code that does something repetitive for you. So I actually wrote a code that I was very annoyed by going into PowerPoint and saving each individual cover slide as a PDF. It just was very repetitive. You had to save as, save as. So I thought this could be automated. So I did a little bit of research and I wrote some code. So I have a very simple code that saves every single slide as a PDF, so I don't have to do that repetitively. I like patterns. If you go into the design tab of PowerPoint, you can set the background as a pattern and you can tile it. I love patterns for notebooks. I personally love pattern notebooks, and so I thought they would be popular with other people. If you go around, you'll see, there's definitely notebooks with pictures and things and like unicorns and kitties with rainbows and whatever not. But a lot of them that are pretty popular, especially with adults as well as kids, are patterns. Now, obviously, the pattern it can be a kid, aimed pattern or an adult pattern. Flowers, right? Very popular with adults. Though I do a few with flowers, but I'm never really like, successful with that because I think it it's not very niche down. It's not you're competing with a lot of people. So I've kind of have a few, but those haven't been too successful. So I do a lot of niche type patterns. And anyway, so I actually hired somebody to create me a code, and I did some modifications on it. I understand basic coding skills, but I'm not fabulous. So I went in and did some modifications. But it basically is a PowerPoint you open, you drop a bunch of files into a folder, a lot of pattern files, they have to be seamless. And then you open that PowerPoint slide and hit run and just select the pattern, the folder that you've dropped your patterns into, and poof, there you go, covers. And all you have to do is resize real quick. And then I copy paste and I do some things that it makes it very easy to create a lot of, especially things like planners where you're not being original in the name of a planner. It's like 2020 planner, right? Or 2020 calendar, whatever. You don't have to be very original in the name. It's more the pattern people are looking for, and then obviously the interior. So I do have that, both of those. And if anyone's really interested, I know I've shared my PDF code with people because it's not really that complex. The other one, if people are really interested, I could look at doing something on Gumroad. It did cost me a fair bit of money to make, and then I modified it to work. I have a few more modifications I think I want to do to it, but I'm not sure on that yet. But if anyone's really interested, I could do something and put it out there for like $10, $20, something really simple. So if anyone's interested in that, just let me know. I don't care either way. I'm not trying to make $1 million off my code, but I don't want to just give it away free because I did spend some time and effort and money into that. But the PDF, I can definitely. I've given that to several people, just making a PDF. It's really a simple code. All right, so what makes a good niche? So let's talk about what makes a good niche, and how do I choose my niches? Now, I have some interesting methods to choose and decide on niches. The two ways I pick things are seasonal and presents. So the most success I've had is looking at seasonal and like a few months out. Like right now, I'm focused on summer. All right, so I'm doing stuff. It'll be popular starting in the spring break time frame, and then go towards the summer. So what are popular summer activities? You could think sports, you could think activities, um, and you can make anything from kids books. I've done some, if, let's say you're doing kids activity books. It's kind of a general broad thing. What kind of summer kids activity books? Well, kids go to the beach, kids go to cruises, kids go travel to, like, think of specific places. They travel to campsites, they travel to maybe certain countries, Mexico, they go to France. Maybe not all kids do, but there are kids that do that, and those parents are probably likely to buy your $9 book, right? So you want to cater maybe to that crowd, whether or not you think there's a million kids who do it or not. I also last night went to Barnes and Noble, and I spent a lot of time in the kids section, and there are like no specific kid activity books in Barnes and Noble. There was like unicorns. It was something about girls, and unicorns are beautiful and make me beautiful. And there were a few. National Geographic had some cool kid focused on different animals, sharks, bears, things that kids tend to be interested in. But as far as activity books, like if you were going on a cruise with your kids, there's nothing out there, right? So as far as Barnes and Noble, now maybe online there is, but that'd be something I kind of got some ideas like that to see what wasn't there, and then to see if something like that exists on Amazon. And there probably are a few, and you can see the interest level in that. So kind of what I do sometimes is go around, like I said, Barnes and Noble, and I said, okay, what's not here? I found a lot of things that weren't there in the kids section. In the adult section, even in the adult section, there wasn't a whole lot in that area. It was kind of like squished in the back, but yet things like that are really popular, very niche and popular, I suppose. And it's hard for people to find things like that. So definitely think seasonally, and then think what is kind of maybe a little bit different that isn't there. What does the market not have? And then start looking on Amazon and doing research to see if anyone's looking for it. Look on Google as well to see, the search volume, and look on Amazon to see what the rank is, to see if there's anything out there, and to see the BSR. Now, the second way I've had a lot of success is that goes with that problem solving, solve the seasonal problems. The next thing I've really had success with is making presents. So I make presents for my kids, their birthday parties. As far as their birthday, I make presents specifically for them. I make presents for their friends. I make presents for my church class. One of my church classes that I was graduating to the next year, I'm a Sunday school teacher. And so I made a specific book for them to give them. It was a really kind of cool, I think it cost me $3 something with shipping to give them a book for the end of the year and kind of wish them well. So it was a cheap gift for me. Now I did put time into it, but then what I did is I make these specific. You have this avatar, right? This person you're making it for to solve that particular problem. So I decided, what they would like, and then I did personalize it to them. But then what I also do is kind of think, step back. What general things could I use this for, and what parts of this could I use for something else? I made one for older teens, kind of in my church group, and I have a very specific type thing, and then I have a more general thing, and then I was going to link it more towards mindset. Getting kids to have an open mindset rather than a fixed mindset is really big right now. And so I was going to take some of those things that I've created, and they took me a long time to create. They're very unique, and in this case, I made a boys version and a girls version. But the girls version, let's be honest, girls are kind of more likely to journal than boys. So I'm going to focus on my girls, making some mindset with the girls and the frillies, and it's really, really cute. My daughter was like, I want one. So you have these avatars, whether it's, a friend's daughter, friend's son, you can make presents for them. Another one of my successful things is I made teachers' presents. So I did these books, like it was a notebook, but it was specifically designed for a teacher gift for my daughters to give out to their teachers. And I just really focused on what they would like in the age group, and tried to put a lot more effort into it because it was going to be a gift. and made some unique, it wasn't just line notes, there was some unique aspects that I put inside it as well, really trying to, have like the kid could draw a picture to their teacher thanking them, so there was space for that, and there were some different things in there to really let my daughters give them kind of a personalized gift. And then I took a generalized version of it and put it up on Amazon. And well, I put that one up, and they actually sold much better than I thought it was going to sell. Like I said, I originally made it as a gift. A lot of my really good selling ones, especially medium content, I guess if you want to say, it's not like completely low. It's, maybe 10, 20 pages repeated several times, have been gifts, and they've just been really well. So I really try and create something for like an avatar, and so I have this person there that I can create it for, and that's worked really really well for me. Now, the other kind of idea is to mix niches. So you've heard, I'm sure if you've followed Merch by Amazon, mixing niches, popular niches. This is also true with books. With your patterns or designs, you can mix niches. Um, let's see, what did I have? Okay, so let's say you're doing, uh, you wanted like two main popular ones, or maybe one that's main popular and one that's a little less popular to kind of stick out. So let's say you're doing travel. You can find patterns with, different places, landmarks from Paris or Europe, or within the states, national park monuments, or different kind of things like that, and then theme it with something that's also popular. For on the travel side, if you're doing kind of a European flair, macaroons. My daughter just learned how to make them at church. They had a macaron night. It's the French ones, the ones that are popular that I'm probably saying wrong. I think it's like macarons rather than macaroons. Anyway, the French ones with the pretty colors and the filling. That's really popular. People like those, and teens. It's kind of trendy. So you can kind of find trendy things and mix them, especially depending on the age and the flair. So mix popular trends. Like I said, you can have macaroons, whatever they are, and monuments and or just Paris or whatever kind of is popular. So you can mix things together and have an interesting pattern. You can mix just flowers together, but like I said, it's hard to do something for flowers. Whereas if you put, some of these other words together, people might be looking for Santa doing yoga. I don't know. That obviously not right now, but in Christmas, people like yoga, people like Christmas things. Santa doing yoga might be funny. I don't know. You can kind of mix some things together. It's kind of like that, dabbing unicorn, or everyone knows what's dabbing now. But like all these sorts of things, you can mix those sorts of trends together, and find unique patterns. And you don't have to find the same thing. You could find, like I said, you could have a macaron and something with like the L'Arc de Triomphe, or but it's things like that you can mix together and then pair it with something that would make sense to go with that, like travel or something. Now, another way to do it is take your normal theme of what you have and ask somebody. Ask my daughter. So I had a particular interior, and I said I was gonna have her help me with some covers. And so I said, okay, well, do some research on Amazon. And it was amazing what she put in first versus what I put in first in the search bar. And so I think sometimes getting a different perspective, she put in something that I honestly wouldn't have thought to put in at all. And it was like a totally untapped niche. Like it's the big niche is very popular, but the sub niche she put down to search for specifically, it was some decent selling books, and there was like 10 results. 10 results that made any sort of sense. I think there was like 100 total, but the rest they weren't even like on topic. They were fewer ads that didn't make sense, and others just weren't even on topic. So, and the few that were actually on topic were selling really well. And so there was definitely some room in that particular niche for growth. And I kind of went through and saw, you go like anything, you go through the reviews and say, oh, well, here's things that people aren't offering with these books. So that's really helpful. So sometimes just asking, if you don't have a daughter or a son or a teen or something, You can just, ask your friends like, hey, what kind of things are your kids interested in? What kind of things are your, you know, grandchildren, brothers, friends, daughters, and uncle, whatever, right? People who have kids and you can kind of pick their brain. And that may seem like a little bit of extra work, but I never would have thought of this niche. And I could have searched for ages and just not thought of it. My daughter types right in, right? So it may be a little extra work to kind of ask around and do a little bit of human research versus just researching on the computer. But I would have never found this if I hadn't kind of taken a different perspective. So I think sometimes you've got to do that as well. Ask around and get maybe a little out of your comfort zone, actually speak to people rather than just relying on Amazon and for your results. Like I said, get out, go to Barnes and Noble, go to bookstores, see what's not there. They might, like I said, definitely have some things online, so you're gonna have to go back and check. But you really can get a feel for what's popular, which is good as far as mass trends. Definitely spark. I'm telling you, in the kids section, sparkly unicorns are still a thing. Dinosaurs on the boys' side, but you can kind of get a feel for what mindsets are out there. Definitely dinosaurs and pink things, but then like it was growth and exploration. That was kind of another thing I saw. They had a lot of rocket ships and things and they're pushing exploration. So you can get out there and see what type of big trends, and then how can you take those big trends and focus it on something. Like I said, right now I'm working seasonal. So I take kind of some of those ideas and how can I take those trends, those concepts, and make them seasonal for what I want to create for the spring to summer timeframe at this point in time. You can definitely look too at, you can make the calendar and start making trending topics. You can do Valentine's, you're kind of a little late on that, but I don't know about St. Patrick's Day as far as books, but I'm sure you can come up with something. But Easter, spring break, there's a lot of things you can come up with. Just kind of think a little bit outside the box and think of what problems you can solve for people. I know I do that over and over again and say that, but that is the key to making low content work. And you can definitely do no content and notebooks, but I've only found minimal success in that. Like I said, the real constant sellers, I've had some sellers that make me, it's not a ton, $100 every single month. But hey, it's been $100 every single month for like 2 years now. Like that's nothing to sneeze at. And it's not amazing, but you add a few $100 a month in there, then, and some, like anything, you've got to put in some work, and some are going to be great and some are going to be failures. And I think that's one of the things I had to get over. I had to get over that not everything I put out was going to be a success. And I at first was saying, oh, I'm wasting my time putting this out there. But that's a mindset thing. You can't think of it as time wasting. You have to think of it as, okay, what did I learn? What part of that template can I reuse to make something new, something different? So some of the biggest things that I bombed at, I've taken pages out of that and then put in something else that was successful. So it wasn't a complete waste. And you never know, maybe 2 years down the road, that trend will become popular and I'll be the only one there because I was the only crazy person enough to put something up about that. So you've got to get past putting things up and them not coming out there. Now, if you're putting up 1,000 books and you haven't sold anything, you need to take a step back. Like, really take a step back and decide, okay, maybe what I'm doing isn't working, because now you're putting in a lot of effort that isn't working. My successes tend to be, they used to be like 1 in 10. Now I'm more like 1 in 3. And I think that comes with experience. I've been doing this like 4 years and kind of that low medium content. And like I said, if I'm creating something also for like a present, the presents are great ones. It's like bonus points, right? You created something for somebody as a gift and then you make money off of it. That's like bonus points, because even if that book failed, like miserably failed, and nobody bought anything but me because I was the one person who bought it to give as a gift, then, like I succeeded because I got to give the gift that I wanted. It took time and effort, but I could have the bonus of making money off of something. And so I think if you really got to shift your mindset, if you want to focus on that present aspect, like I said, that could maybe really get you out of worrying about, oh, I haven't sold anything, because you're making that present specifically for someone. And when they give it, you give it to them and their eyes light up because it's unique and personalized, to tailored to their need or their problem, or answering something that they've been looking to be answered, or be helped by. Like right then and there, you have made somebody happy. And that is it's a wonderful feeling to see them open something that they're really going to enjoy. So you can start with that. And if that might be enough to get you over kind of that working for nothing, because it's not. You're learning something each and every time you do this, and so you just need to keep pushing on. But like I said, if you were put 1,000 books out there and there's no success whatsoever, step back. You're doing something probably, I wouldn't say wrong, but you're definitely not focusing on the right things. And so you need to do something a little different. Just don't keep doing the same thing and getting no results and deciding, yeah, that's what I should do. There's a place in KDP for everybody. You've just got to find what your thing is, and find what you're good at, and which you can kind of resonate with the people that you're trying to offer content to. So that's it. If anyone has any questions, there's a few people on the chat. I think someone other than me, but that was kind of all I had for today. So if you have any questions, like I said, I will drop my link so you can ask me questions on the Google form. If not, I will hope you enjoy the replay. Hit like, subscribe, tell your friends, ask a question, and I can definitely personally answer it. So thanks so much.